First day of school, roommate Sophia said to us, "I was spoiled growing up. I'm very picky about what I eat, wear, and use. Don't mix your stuff with mine." She took the washing machine in the dorm room for herself. She wouldn't let us use it. Said she was afraid that the laundry detergent residue and clothing fibers would make her allergic. Another roommate just touched her takeout. She yelled, "Oh my God, why are you touching my food? You realize I might be allergic." She doesn't want to clean up and asked us to make her bed. I just don't get it. It's written on her application form for poor students that she's helping out at home with the hogweed and plowing the fields. Could it be in a dream? I've warned you many times. After pressing the button to turn on the light, it has to be sterilized with disinfectant water for an hour. Don't you know I'm allergic? Whenever I touch something dirty, I get a rash. Housemate Sophia covers her mouth, frowning, signaling us to spray disinfectant. Emily, the girl who was taught a lesson, immediately and positively sprayed disinfectant water, says, "That's right. Our Sophia is the daughter of a wealthy family. She has delicate skin. She's prone to allergies. It's my fault. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry." When Sophia heard that, immediately showed a charming smile. She said proudly, "That goes without saying. My whole body is brand name. Even my underwear is worth a few $1,000s. I eat at home. The maid feeds me. You people, you understand." Finished speaking, she smiled and took off the several $1,000 panties, throwing it to the girl next to her. She asked me to wash her panties by hand. She emphasized that they were silk. Washed them gently 3 times. The smell made the girl next to me cover her mouth. He took off the socks he had been wearing for a long time, threw them in front of me, smiling. "Oops, I forgot. You guys probably haven't seen these before. Even the babysitter doesn't know about them. That's funny. Grace, you'll be on your knees wiping my feet today. My feet have been treated with $100,000 worth of skin care products." I'm not sure what to say. Look at her condescending look. Directly topped it back. If you want to rub it yourself, rub it. If you want to wash it, then wash it. What does it have to do with me? Emily immediately stood in front of me. She pointed at me and said, "Grace, not that I want to talk about you. Sophia is so nice to you. She sends you cosmetics and clothes. How could you do this to her? You're doing this. Don't you feel bad about it?" I couldn't help but laugh. They did give me hundreds of worn-out clothes and used-up cosmetics, but they didn't know. Sophia even asked me to give her gifts back. Usually, Sophia always forced me to buy her all kinds of luxuries. At first, I thought she treated me as a friend, but then things became more and more excessive. She even made me take out a loan to buy her Hermes. She said to me, "I'm the daughter of a rich family. All these things of yours are nothing. When my parents come back from America, I'll take you to see them. My family is very rich. Several buildings in the school were donated by our family." I didn't expect her to turn around and say I'm her follower, and claim to be a noble young lady. Says I'm just a lowly servant, even compared me to a dog she raised. Since then, Sophia and I had less and less contact, but she still treated me as her helper, often asked me to do things for her. Until today, Lily from the class, she usually works part-time to subsidize her family, came to me in tears. She told me in a low voice, why my family is so poor, but I'm not assessed as a poor student. On the contrary, Sophia in room 701 is a special needs student, later I realized. Sophia applied for a subsidy for poor students. She wrote in her application, "There are 8 people in the family. Both parents work outside. There are 6 children in the family, 5 daughters and 1 brother. The family is very poor. She usually has to cut hogweed to sell, but Sophia usually spends money freely, and Lily works part-time every day. Sometimes she has to work part-time at night. I feel unbalanced. Looking at the proud Sophia in front of me, I laughed. I can't believe it. I can't believe that you, who usually looks like a young lady, would apply for a poverty grant. You're actually applying for a scholarship for the poor, or a special prize. Sophia, did you make a mistake? You're so rich. You don't care about this few $1,000s. When I finished speaking, the whole dormitory froze. When Sophia heard it, her face immediately turned red, hurriedly explained, what are you talking about? I didn't even apply for those things." I smiled, looked at her nervously, and said, "Maybe I was wrong. Right, Sophia? After all, you're a golden lady. How could you have applied for it?" She laughed awkwardly, gave me a hard look. In the evening, Sophia, as usual, wearing lace pajamas, said in a petulant voice, "It's someone's turn to tuck me in today. I'm sleepy. Why don't you hurry up and make up the bed for me? Help me wash my feet and wipe my face." She purposely walked in front of me, raised her feet to me. She said coldly, "Grace, wash my feet. You have offended me today. You must wipe my feet and clean my shoes." I looked at her helplessly with a haughty look on my face. I couldn't help but talk back. "Don't put on airs here. Get lost." I was concentrating on my painting. I don't have time for her. When she heard that, she got angry. She threw water directly on me and the computer. She said angrily, "I'm a golden girl. How can you talk to me like that?" Suddenly, the computer screen went black. I was soaking wet. Sophia smiled at me and said, "What's wrong? It's just a splash of water. Grace, why do you care so much? You're right. All the students around us are on Sophia's side. They're all on Sophia's side. Grace, if you wiped Sophia's feet, if you helped Sophia wipe her feet, she wouldn't have splashed you. Apologize. Grace, you're not doing the right thing. Why are you treating Sophia like this? She's so nice. She's so nice and you're still treating her like this." I can't help but sneer. I know in my heart that Sophia is deliberately targeting me. I smiled and said to her, "Sophia, I have no obligation to take care of you. Now my computer is flooded. Are you going to pay for it?" She laughed and replied, "I'll pay for it. What are you talking about? I was just kindly passing you water. Do you have any proof?" I took out my cell phone, smiling at him. "Sorry, I recorded everything just now. If you don't pay up, I'll call the police. My father bought this computer for me to paint. It's worth over $20,000. If you can't afford it, let's wait for the police. I used to record the whole process when I was painting. Now I have the evidence." The people next to me froze when they heard that. She had a surprised look on her face, as if she didn't expect me to resist. You have the guts to call the police." I just picked up my cell phone. She immediately said with a stern face, "How much is the computer? Tell me then. It's just a computer. There's nothing to worry about. I had my period this afternoon. I had a terrible stomachache, so I took a leave of absence from class. I rested in the dormitory." Sophia suddenly came back. She took out the latest Apple cell phone she bought in 2 years. She made a call. "Mom, do you have enough money these days? I need money urgently. Can you give me some first?" The woman on the other end of the phone said in an urgent tone, "Sophia, you don't have to pretend. Didn't you say you'd get the money back when you went to college? You've been going to school for 2 months now. I haven't seen you send money back yet. Isn't there a subsidy in your school recently? Remember to call me when you get the money. Your brother recently bought a pair of sneakers. Now he wants money from me. If you can't make it, don't study anymore. Come back and do something else." When Sophia heard that, immediately responded with a smile, "I'm studying here. Mom, please do me a favor. Send me some money. Okay? Otherwise someone might call the police." The other side said, "Then you have to give me the money in a month. Don't make me go to school to find you. I don't care if you call the police. If you don't give me the money by then, I'll go to school and sell you to the old bachelor at the end of the village." She hung up the phone crying, then angrily cursed loudly. Hearing this, I couldn't help but feel sorry for Sophia, thinking forget it, not to let her lose the money. But the next second, Sophia came to my table, slapped my bag and necklace hard and said, "Grace, don't pretend. Don't talk about losing money. I think you got these things from men too." Then he turned around and took my things. He smiled and left and said, "You want me to pay for it? That's ridiculous." The next day, Sophia found me in front of everyone in class. She handed me a bottle of perfume. With a smug look on her face, she said, "Grace, let's take a step back. I'll give you this. Forget about the computer. This is a European perfume. It's expensive, thousands of dollars a bottle. I know you may not know much about this. You take it out and sell it. You can earn several $1,000s. The people next to me heard, full of envy, said, "Wow, Sophia is still so generous. This is a rare perfume, really rich, worthy of being a rich girl. She's so generous right off the bat." Some say Sophia is the daughter of the Smith family. Her family is very rich. It's really something. When Sophia heard that, she said happily, "Aya, don't be so ostentatious. Grace, don't be angry. I'll take that as an apology for the other day. Actually, the Smith family's daughter is not Sophia. It's not Sophia. The real Smith family's daughter is studying abroad, and I haven't heard of any illegitimate daughter in their family. I didn't expose her. I didn't accept the perfume. I don't need your perfume. I had my computer repaired. It cost me $2,500. It cost me $2,500. You transfer the money to me." I sent her a screenshot of all the bills. I didn't want to talk to her anymore. I went straight to the counselor. I applied to move out of the dormitory. Sophia gave me a hard stare. casually threw the perfume to someone else. Since I applied to move out of the dormitory, life became much more normal. Sophia doesn't bother me anymore. I don't have to be her servant anymore either. Now there are naturally others willing to take care of her. Emily immediately took the initiative to come along. Sophia has been coming to class less and less lately. Sometimes she even takes a week's vacation. She often posts photos of herself traveling abroad in her circle of friends. For example, Hawaii in the US or a certain beach. Some people even left comments expressing envy. She also responded cheerfully. Looks like having a good time. She also dresses herself up as a rich girl, on the internet as a small netizen. Also bragged that there are already tens of thousands of fans on a platform. Within a few days, she took out $2,500 and threw it at me, said, "That's all the money you want to give me. Grace, I used to think we were friends. Now I don't see the point. What's the point of being friends? I counted the money. It's enough." I watched her change into a beautiful dress. I smiled and said, "I really wish we weren't friends." Sophia went out more and more often. Sometimes she goes out at 2 or 3 o'clock in the middle of the night. Her roommate asked her what she was doing. She just smiled and answered, "My childhood friend came back from studying abroad. He took me to a party. You may not understand, at the party, we also get to meet quite a few celebrities and netizens. They are all very enthusiastic about me." However, she vomited more and more in the dormitory. Instead, she just smiled and said, "You guys are not clear. I'm drinking too much good wine. No big problem." But one afternoon, when I went back to my dorm room to organize things, suddenly heard a creaking sound from the foot of the bed, accompanied by the intermittent sound of a woman's panting. A push opened the door of the dormitory. A pungent odor came to my face. I hurriedly covered my mouth, smoothly turned on the lights. The scene in front of me surprised me, Sophia's bed. Surprisingly, there was a pair of men and women naked and entangled together. I immediately froze. Sophia, however, did not cover up and yelled at me, "What are you doing? Do not see that we are busy. You just barge in. You're invading our privacy." The other shirtless man glared at me impatiently. "Didn't you say your dorm room was more interesting? Why is there someone else coming in? I haven't felt comfortable yet." I couldn't help but sneer. What invasion of privacy? What fun. This is obviously a dorm room shared by everyone. How can she take it for granted that it's hers alone? Sophia doesn't care about me at all. She directly wrapped her arms around that man's neck. She said with a smile, "Brother, isn't it more fun in front of others?" She glanced at me impatiently, coldly said, "There is no business for you here. Hurry up and get out." I sneered at this farce, turn around and send a message in the group. "Hurry back to the dormitory. The hostel manager is coming to check the room." He turned around and left. "Wait until the people in the dormitory come back one after another." One opened the door. The scene in front of us was a sight to behold. Sophia and the man were naked, are doing sports. The roommates saw it. They couldn't help but scream. Ah, my eyes. The screams attracted the housemaster. The housemaster took a look, found a boy in the girls' dormitory, immediately reprimanded angrily. "Who let you in?" Sophia hurriedly put on her clothes. Voice softly said, "This is my brother. He just came to see me. I'm not feeling well. He helped me check it out. Don't think too much." The man slowly put on his clothes. Then he put his arm around Sophia. "That's right. I'm her good brother. You people don't understand. A bunch of dirt dogs." The hostel manager didn't care about the good brother. He just told security to drag the man away. Sophia said softly, "Brother, I'm sorry. Next time you guys come back, be gentle with my brother." The roommates saw that the dormitory was dirty and messy. "It smells bad." They couldn't help but ask Sophia, "Why don't you go clean it? The smell is too heavy." She smiled contemptuously, said, "What do you understand? You've never even been in love. These are valuable lessons." A girl saw a pair of men's underwear on the table, shouted in surprise, "Why is there a pair of underwear here? It's so uncomfortable. Sophia, you come and take care of it." Sophia said softly, "I am a big lady. My skin is delicate. I don't want to clean up by myself. Usually it's you guys who clean up. This time also trouble you. Remember to wash it by hand. These panties are very expensive. It's worth thousands of dollars. Don't ruin them." Sophia didn't realize. Her roommates are very critical of her. She doesn't use my meal card, but she swiped other people's cards and ordered takeout with them every day. She always delayed paying and gave away used items. She even gave her underwear to other girls. That girl has a quick temper. When she saw Sophia looking like she didn't care, threw the underwear in her hand directly into her face, said, Let you try these thousands of dollars of underwear. Otherwise, you won't even realize how good it is." Sophia heard this. She was immediately on fire. She directly said, "Who are you talking about? What princess disease? My family is rich. Mansion, you understand? How can an ordinary person like you understand?" Finished, she also no longer hid. Smiling, she took out something. The guide just announced the list of poor students in the group. "How did you also become a special hardship student? Aren't you a rich girl? Why are you still competing with us for this spot? Lily's parents are both disabled. It was hard to get in, but you've been squeezed out." Sophia smiled and looked at the girl and said. The girl heard the other's words, angry. The other person said, "What's wrong? I'll be rated poor. That little money is not enough for me to have a meal. The class president said there was a quota. He applied for me. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? I didn't rob you. Who are you to criticize me?" The girl has never seen such an unreasonable person. She was so angry that she moved out of the school. Sophia is not in a hurry. Smiling, she took out a stack of cash from her bag and said, "Sisters, do not listen to her. This is my little gift for everyone. There are also some beauty coupons. You can all use them." The remaining few girls immediately took the money and rolls from her hands. "And you said, Sophia, she's just too grumpy. She's just too grumpy. She's just bringing her boyfriend back for once. There's nothing to worry about." She looked at me. She looked at me and smiled. "Grace, did you just tell them that?" I smiled and dodged her hand. I quickly cleaned up and sterilized my things. Then I said, "I'm not sure. Anyway, the hostel manager already knows about it. If this is reported, you'll definitely be criticized. Maybe you won't even be able to keep your graduate school eligibility. That's all." I immediately turned around and left. In my heart, I was disgusted. Who knows if she will bring any virus next time? So she hurriedly took some goodies to please the hostel manager. Only then did the hostess promise not to tell anyone about it. Unexpectedly, one night, she took the initiative to contact me. She said happily on the phone, "Grace, you listen to me. I invested in this company is really good. My boyfriend helped me arrange it. I can make $10,000 a day. It's easy to make a lot of money. Do you want to try this part-time job?" She also sent me a few photos. In the photos, there are several piles of cash on her desk. She is wearing all kinds of famous brands. She also sent pictures of Hawaii, where she often goes. "I've been thinking about you. You're good-looking. You have a good personality. Come over soon." Then he sent me an address. He asked me to come over right away. I was a little confused by her offer, so I refused. "Sophia, I don't think our relationship has reached that level yet. Let's not contact each other in the future," she said on the other end. Grace, why did you suddenly stop contacting me? I've always thought of you as my best friend." I hung up. The next day, she came to me with a smile on her face. She said, "I just want to apologize to you. After all, I did those things before I had a chance to speak." She pulled a man behind her and came to me, said, "This is my brother. People are especially nice. A normal person like you wouldn't have the chance to know him. He drives a Ferrari. Look at that." Then she smiled and said to the man, "Jack, this is my best friend. Isn't she beautiful, very pretty? She's got a great body. Totally meets my brother's standard." I noticed that man was checking me out with his unsuspecting eyes, especially when his eyes rested on my thighs. He straightaway smiled and said, "Not bad, not bad. That's her." Before I could figure out what was going on, Sophia laughed and pulled me in and said, "Jack has a crush on you. You'll be his girlfriend." I heard that. She actually took it upon herself to find me a boyfriend. I immediately said, "Are you crazy? I don't even know him. Who are you to find me a boyfriend?" She smiled and said, "You're really letting me down. You know what? How much money that brother gave you just now? A whole $50,000. Fall in love with these rich people. Maybe you can make more money than you'll ever make in your life." I think she's talking a bit off. So I just walked away, but I didn't expect. She actually put sleeping pills in my cup. She said angrily, "Why do you guys always do this to me? Especially you. Grace, I know you despise me. I know you despise me and you're always picking on me. I'm telling you, I'm going to make you suffer this time. I'd like to see that. I'd like to see what you'll become after taking the sleeping pills and those drugs. What will become of you after taking the sleeping pills and those drugs? By then, I'll send out a video of you with someone else." Haha, she was laughing a bit uncontrollably in the video, but she didn't know that, just in case. I've long ago installed a camera in my place. Normally, it can only shoot my table. It can't film anyone else. After class, she asked her roommate to go out for dinner and said she wanted to treat, but deliberately didn't call me. just waiting for me to drink that glass of water. In fact, I changed the water long ago, poured it back into her cup. I refilled it myself. She didn't notice. She drank it too. It didn't take long. She got dizzy. I took the opportunity to slip out. She took off her clothes in her dorm room because it was too hot. It didn't take long. Someone suddenly pushed the door in. He grabbed Sophia in his RMTKS. He started hugging her over and over again. I was standing outside the door. I panicked and ran to the hostel manager. The hostel manager immediately called the police. Police. It's no good. A man broke into our dormitory. He is violating our classmates. You guys come quickly. It didn't take long. The security police and the counselor arrived at the door of our dormitory. The police pushed open the door, quickly separated the two who were arguing, and immediately gave first aid to Sophia. Classmate, wake up. Someone pressed Jack on the ground. Jack saw so many people, immediately woke up. He started cursing angrily. I just want to have some fun. Why are you arresting me? I paid for it. What reason do you have to arrest me? Sophia finally came to her senses, looking at her own messy appearance, and saw the police and instructors present. She said in disbelief, "This can't be. How can this be? It was obviously Grace who had the accident. How could it be me?" The outside was crowded with students who were watching. Sophia couldn't help but cry after being taken to the police station. Sophia, in order to save her reputation, cried in defense. "It's him. He was interested in me. He was the one who forced me." Whoops, the man heard it. He was so angry. "What is this? Police, we were clearly consensual. I gave her money. She introduced me to women. How can you say I forced her?" he said, while taking out the chat records and notes, and didn't forget to smile sarcastically. "Originally, I was going to be with an inexperienced girl. I didn't expect her to suddenly appear in the room. It made me very uncomfortable. She seems to have had relationships with quite a few men." "Sophia, you'd better remember what you said. When I come out, I won't let you go." "That's what I said." The people who were comforting Sophia froze. Sophia rushed to explain, but no one believed her. When she came back, all sorts of information about her was exposed. It turned out that she later became rich because she did live broadcasting of sexy dancing and specialized in providing services for rich people. She even helped rich people find innocent college students. She gets more than 10,000 commission for every college student she introduces. Result: Sophia was criticized by the school for this incident due to the bad influence. She was given a demerit. As soon as she came back, she questioned me angrily. "Did you do it on purpose?" "Grace, I know it was you. You must have done it on purpose. You've obviously been cheated by a man." I sneered at her and said, "Sophia, I didn't think you'd go this far. I didn't think you'd go so far as to try to make money by selling me out. This is illegal." I immediately refuted her, but she still didn't think she was wrong. She said, "So what? I'm telling you, he's a rich man. What a great opportunity if I can get pregnant with a son. I'll be able to make it big." The students next to me heard that. I can't help but say, "Sophia, I remember your family is also a rich family. How can you be pregnant with the son of a rich family? This is really interesting." She heard, immediately raised his hand and slapped the girl. She said, "Who are you to talk about me? People like you. You don't even deserve to lift my shoes. I tell you, I'm just a big shot. What's wrong with that?" But no one wants to believe her. After everything, who would believe her? Everyone thinks she's full of lies. Some people even satirize her. "Aren't you a rich girl? Why do all those things look like fakes? How dare you apply for a bursary as a big lady? It's really laughable." She was furious. Couldn't help but yell, "How dare you guys talk about me like that? If my parents knew, I'm sure they won't let you go. I'm the eldest miss of the Smith family. I'm the daughter of the Smith family." She was so angry that she covered her stomach. Suddenly, her face changed dramatically. The people around her saw it. They didn't want to talk to her, because the bursary thing everyone knows. It is clear that she loves to show off. But immediately after, some students shouted, "Someone come quickly. Sophia is bleeding," turning around. I saw Sophia's calf was covered in blood. She cried out in pain. "My stomach hurts. Quickly call 120. My stomach hurts." The teacher saw the situation and immediately called 120. The teacher saw the situation and immediately called 120. The students had never seen such a scene before. Sophia was taken to the hospital. She was still unconscious. The doctor quickly gave her a checkup. They found out the shocking news that she was pregnant due to excessive exercise and unbalanced diet before. She had symptoms of a preeclampsia. However, the situation has stabilized for now. The counselor looked at the pale girl in front of her, couldn't help but advise. Sophia, you give up. Your condition is not bad. Academic qualifications are also good. Good looking. Get rid of the baby. Concentrate on your studies. We still have a legitimate path to follow. She learned she was pregnant. She was so excited. I'm pregnant. I'm pregnant with the baby of a rich family. Ha ha. I'm going to be the wife of a magnate. The guide listened. I'm a bit surprised, Sophia. I know your family condition may not be as good as other students. Young people. Sometimes they may fantasize about rich people, but that kind of family is very complicated. You have many other opportunities. There's no need to waste your youth on this. But she didn't listen at all. Instead, she felt that the guide was mocking her, immediately said angrily, "It's none of your business, I'll tell you. Do you know who the father of the baby in my belly is? His money is more than someone like you can earn in a lifetime. I don't want to study. I want to marry a rich man." Ha 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 ha. You country bumpkins, stay away from me. The guide is furious with Sophia. He hands her the sick list. She says with a smug look on her face, "Come here, pay the bill. I'm a rich young woman now. You people don't even deserve to shine my shoes." The guide ignored it. She slammed the door and left. Sophia found herself being forced to pay the medical bills, but she had already sent the money home for her brother. She had to call the rich kid and say, "Brother, I'm pregnant. It's your child." The rich kid responded coldly, "Doesn't care. Pregnant? What a joke. Every day someone says they're pregnant with my child. Who are you?" Sophia said immediately, "Last month I went to a hot spring with my brother. Now I'm pregnant. The baby is yours and it's a boy." That rich second generation heard it. He laughed and said, "There were so many people that day. Who knows if the one you're carrying is mine? Besides, you women, don't you just want money? I'll give you $100,000. Get rid of it. If you want to give birth, my parents won't approve. You'd better listen to me. Get rid of it early." When Sophia heard that, the whole person froze. She couldn't believe what she heard. "Jack, I am pregnant now. If you don't believe me, I'll tell all about you." "We'll see." Richie scoffed at her. He laughed coldly. "You expose you're just an escort. All day long, you think of climbing up to the second generation of rich people. I remember you are a graduate of a famous university. How do you do something embarrassing?" said. The other party directly hung up the phone. Sophia panicked. She did not expect the trump card she thought was useless. She was not willing. Continue to look for that rich second generation. In her heart, she still dreamed of marrying into a rich family, fantasizing that she could become a rich wife in one step. However, the second generation rich man has long since pulled the plug on her. Nevertheless, Sophia still believes, as long as the child is born, she will have the rightful right to inherit. Since she got pregnant, Sophia has become even more picky. She took advantage of her pregnancy. She continues to tell others to do things. "So what if I wasn't a rich girl before? Now I'm the wife of a rich family. When my child is born, you'll still have to listen to me." So she asked her roommates to massage her every night, buy all kinds of supplements. She even asked other people's parents to cook for her. At first, everyone thought she was pregnant. They felt sorry for her. They obeyed her, but she got worse and worse. At night, her roommates had to wait for her to fall asleep before they could rest. Some couldn't help but get angry. They simply quit. Sophia didn't care. She continued to make her own demands. Unfortunately, no one paid any attention to her. Everyone just ignored her. She was furious. Emily, on the other hand, happily circled around her like a follower. "Sophia, how do you know all those rich people? I want to go too. My family is not well off." Sophia covered her stomach and looked at Emily. She looked at Emily, thinking that she had no income for several months. She immediately smiled and said, "I'll take you there. I'll take you there. If you've been spotted by a rich kid, remember to help me. Remember to help me." The students next to her couldn't help but advise Emily, "Emily, don't go to that kind of place with her. You're a student of a prestigious university. Those people are bad." She took a girl to a place like that before. The girl was bullied by some guys. Emily didn't wait for me to finish. She rushed to interject. "You don't understand. Sophia will soon marry into a rich family. If I'd been spotted by a rich kid, I'd definitely grab the chance too. I'm not bad looking." Sophia hurriedly contacted the clubhouse, sent Emily in. After Emily got the money, she had a great time. She was pregnant and went to a disco. As a result, she suddenly bled while bouncing. When the bar people took her to the hospital, the baby couldn't be saved. She was also bleeding profusely. Her uterus was removed. When she woke up, Sophia's mom slapped her across the face, cursing angrily. I let you study to make money, to pay for your brother's education, to buy a house and get a wife. You are now pregnant. What about the bride price? People are all booked. You ungrateful thing. Sophia stared at her stomach in surprise. Can't believe it. How can this be? Isn't my baby always fine? How could it be miscarried? Sophia's mom didn't listen. She slapped her hard again. You useless thing. I won't beat you to death. Hurry back and marry me. Sophia covered her stomach, muttering with a face full of shock. This can't be. How could my child? Sophia couldn't help but cry out. Sophia's mom, however, looked at her coldly, casually threw out the account book, said, You'll go back and get married next week. Your brother is going to college soon. He also has to get a daughter-in-law. The bride price is just enough for him to buy a house. You can go to that family as a daughter-in-law without worrying. When Sophia heard this, she immediately got down on her knees and pleaded, immediately kneeled down and pleaded, Mom, I beg you, I don't want to get married. I can earn other money. I can go and earn other money. Sophia's mom didn't listen to the explanation. She took out a notice from the school and said, I've already done the paperwork for you to quit school. You'll go home next week. Sophia couldn't help but cry. Just then, the rich second generation called. I heard you had a miscarriage. The baby is gone. I'll transfer $1,000 to you. You take care of your health. Sophia's mom got angry and said, You only give $1,000. My daughter's belly is so precious. You must pay me $100,000. The rich second generation transferred $100,000 without hesitation. Let them leave quickly. Sophia's mom happily counted the money, smiling. Now the money for my son's car is in order. Sophia saw that $100,000 was taken away by Sophia's mom. Immediately said angrily, Mom, this is my hard-earned money. How could you do this? This money is mine. The two of them immediately wrestled together. Sophia's mom is very strong. Sophia had just had a miscarriage and was weak. She was soon pinned down. Sophia's mom said proudly, You think you can snatch it back? I'm telling you, Sophia, everything you have belongs to our Smith family. You want to be the wife of a rich family. Don't dream of it. Sophia went back to the dormitory to tidy up her room with a heavy heart. She saw Emily looking at her with a tired face. Sophia, why are you doing this to me? Do you know what happened that night? I was violated by several men. You, Sophia, just smiled coldly. Look at her. I did it on purpose. I did it on purpose. Is there a problem? You want to be rich like me. What's the point? How do you feel? Happy, Emily said, shaking with anger. Then why did you only give me $10,000? It was my first time. Sophia said lightly, $10,000 is $10,000. What's the matter? You don't like it. If you don't like it, go to the boss. Talk to those men. Emily finally couldn't help it. She asked in a loud voice, Sophia, how could you do this to me? You put me in the worst box. You watched me being bullied when you were pregnant. I took care of you all the time. You, but she said with a careless smile, I didn't beg you to help me. You chose your own path. Who's to blame? Emily heard this. She was suddenly furious. She could no longer control herself, grabbed the fruit knife in her hand. She stabbed at Sophia. Sophia covered her stomach, shouted loudly, Haha, since I'm having such a hard time, you don't want to feel good either. Go to hell. Help, 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 he shouted. While trembling, he picked up the phone, rushed to report to the police. After Emily stabbed someone, immediately jumped to her death. Sophia's stomach and face were covered in blood. She covered her face, emotionally broke down and shouted. After she was sent to the hospital, after a whole day of resuscitation, she was finally saved. Emily jumped to her death, died on the way to the hospital. After her parents learned the news, immediately rushed to the school, demanded compensation from the school, and also sought claims from the Smith family. Sophia's mom was no pushover. She directly retorted back and asked Emily's family to pay for the damages. By the time Sophia was discharged from the hospital, her face was already ruined. Sophia's mom took the 200,000 yuan compensation, smiling at her. Luckily, we got this money. At last, we didn't suffer in vain. I'm telling you, as you are now, it's good that someone wants you. Sophia felt so bad, she couldn't help but cry out. She shouted, Why is it like this? I'm about to live a life of luxury. How did it suddenly become like this? Sophia's mom dragged her straight home. She was knocked out just as she arrived home. Then she was sent to that man's house. She lost her uterus, hasn't been able to get pregnant. The man took her for a checkup. It turned out that she had had a miscarriage and had no uterus when she came back. The man took action against her. He put her in a pigsty. Since then, she's gone insane.